Check one, two, three. If I could, Mr. Sir, or Mrs. Sir, and Mr. Ma'am, I'm used to having a lieutenant. He was a 35-year-old male. As far as I knew, he was only 35 years old. I was told later he was 85 years old, but he had been working with the family for about 35 years in the field of communications. And so I beg permissions currently at second 30 and for explanation of two ditty Pink Floyd set, and first my renditions set. Vera, Vera, what has become of you? Remember how we said that we would meet again some sunny day. And if you should go skating on the thin ice of modern life, dragging behind you that silent reproach of a million tear-stained eyes, don't be surprised when a crack in the ice appears under your feet. You'll slip out of your depth and out of your mind with a fear crawling up inside you as you claw the thin ice. Vera, Vera, what has become of you? Remember how we said that we would meet again some sunny day. So that was a bit of a camp song poetry, a poetry sort of camp song poetry at the same time. So in communications covering fire, I stepped out on my at-home patio deck bar, and formerly known as a gem garden. There was plenty of quartz crystals and et cetera there for semi-precious gems of sorts, and I heard little people, Gerbers, tiny tots, um, toddlers, and etc. The newborns through young adults, and little people of sorts that whom you're not supposed to smoke around them. You're not supposed to drink around them. But exceptions of plenty of apartments in such a small spaces that says, be wary, young one. And a dad, well, between ages of 5 and 11, I was putting sperm into a cup, 3 days a week, 4 weeks a month, ages 5 to 11. Through school, through doctor stuff, and through nurse's office, school sex ed stuff. Um, so there was that. I may be a technical somehow. Chances are very great, 90% chance that I am a dad, somehow, in some way, or in some respect, a father of sorts. But as far as on the books papers of having some kind of birth certificate or proof of dad something, absolutely not. I doesn't have any. I wouldn't mind one in the mail. And then 3 months later, I suppose, if I follow through with written agreements of all sorts, and rules and regulations, signatures of all sorts of this and that's and dits and dats of course, I'd love to raise my own seed, a boy or a girl, either or whatever bigender suppose would even suffice. While I'm smoking and drinking at my at-home patio deck bar, and gem garden of sorts, I tend to drown out the little people, the tiny tots, and things, and sort of around the corner and through the wind, in the wind, bargain with the devil, also known as Papa Bears and Mama Bears of all sorts of, and due to the intoxication properties of considered in one respect a Native American sacrament, yet in other respects an 18 and over recreational mild psychedelic, such as coffee and tobacco or beer and portions of whiskey, such as Heineken and Jack Daniels and or say Native American tobacco is like natural American spirits of sorts, Smoking Joe's, Mohawk Natives, etc. Says Maxwell House, Folgers, Heineken, Jack Daniels, and that was about that. And then my lieutenant, well, he's buried. He's buried and rotten to the point where he stank up the whole backyard. Yes, he lived in the family 35 years. He lived with me for say 100 days here. So and at the previous location from 2008 till 2019 and such. And then he was perhaps murdered by burglars or vandals of delinquent so in some sort of check 2-1 545 out 3-2-1 check.